Hello, everyone, and welcome to a presentation on Ingress. Today we have a special guest, Cynthia Clark. Go ahead and
Hi.
wave. With us, we also have Kay, and we have Trish as well.
Hi.
So this is a part of the Metagame Book Club. It is, we're doing this in collaboration, I should say, or in conjunction. That's the word I'm looking for. With the Ready Player One Book Club. The Ready Player One Book Club is brought to you by the Ice Games and Sims Network, as well as the Neville Betrayal Guild. This is a group of educators that meet in World of Warcraft for their social sessions. So instead of heading out to the local bakery or cake shop or coffee shop to meet and talk, we all just hang out in the virtual world and talk to each other. As a reminder for those of you who are in the book club or those who are thinking about going ahead and coming into the book club, we started up on July 20th and we'll end on August 12th, so there's plenty of time for you to join in the fun. But let's get back to what you're really here for. So we'll turn it over to Cynthia and talk about Ingress.
Okay. I won't spend a lot of time talking myself. I'm more interested in the questions that people here have. First, I got into Ingress about a month after it initially started. It started in November of 2012. It was a closed beta. You had to submit your Gmail accounts to be able to play, and I got my invite in December. And that's when I started to go out, and it was a very different time for Ingress. No one really knew what was going on. There were some some tutorials being built, but basically just getting out as much as you could. People hadn't been playing yet. They hadn't been able to submit portals, so it was like there were like 5 or 6 of us in my area battling over the same 4 portals every single day, and it got kind of interesting. Niantic, of course, they have this very complex backstory, and I'm going to share some sites real quick. I used to keep up with it, but I read it a lot. I had to wait a month or so for my invite, and I want to go here, Niantic Project. And this kind of is where they used to have all their information on the backstory. We have scientists. So what Ingress is, portals, they let out this exotic matter. The exotic matter is something from aliens. The people that are in the Enlightened team believe that this exotic matter is going to help us evolve the humans evolve at a faster rate and become enlightened. People who are the Resistance, which is the blue team, and I'm going to say we because I'm Resistance, we believe that we need to be a little careful. We're not really sure of the alien intention here. I'm the old school with like Night Gallery, with Outer Limits. Kind of aliens always seem like they're being friendly until they stab you in the back, kind of thing. So. But there's quite a complex backstory with the scientists, and I have some of that on here. So some of the main people, for example, and let me make this a little bigger.
And I was going to say, one of our people wrote in the Metagame Book Club, she was like, I picked Resistance because when was aliens taking over, when did aliens ever really help us?
Right. The main crew that actually works on Ingress, and so scientists have been dead, they've come back to life. We've had Clue right here. She will be in a lot of the videos and the links that I'm going to share with you on this document. She at one point got taken. We were kind of sad because she got taken over by the artificial intelligence, which is on the Resistance side. So it was like they kind of fooled us, thinking only the aliens are going to be able to take over people. Well, then somehow, all of a sudden, there's something called an Ada, which took over Clue. She has since recovered, is no longer under the influence. Susanna Moyer's the one you will see in the weekly Ingress update. She tells us what's happened in the world, what's happened with the scientists, what's happened with the research. And then the 4 people kind of behind the scenes that you see on Ingress, Joe Philly, he's the one that travels a lot. If you follow Ingress on Google Plus Community, you'll see pictures of his dinner every night. He goes to a lot of the anomalies. These happen every month. Brian Rose, Brandon Badger, and Ann Butenmuller, they help with the development of Ingress. So they are the key people. There was a time before it became open when you would kind of beg them to get you an invite to play the game.
And Cynthia, when I'm seeing these pictures, you know, just because we're educators and we can't help ourselves, I'm like, oh, we could get a team of like 5 educators who could play the main crew. And we, you know, as you're describing it, oh, we could get someone to play each of these roles. And,
Yes.
and I'm sorry, but I can't help but like infuse the education in it,
Right.
you know, while we're talking about
Exactly.
it.
Different roles. Like I said, Joe's kind of the social guy. He goes out. He travels all over the country to meet everybody. The other 3 Brian Rose sometimes is there. The other 2 tends to kind of stay behind. They attend now and then, but not very often. And like I said, as far as the media part, these 2 are really the actresses that were hired for the media aspect of it. Earlier, before we actually officially started this, we had talked about it being a team game. You do have people that will be lone wolf and will just kind of want to be on their own. But your play affects the way others can interact in the game. And so we have ways to communicate. Now, has everybody at least gotten an agent account, so they're kind of familiar with the interface, with the scanner, as we call the phone?
Yeah, I think we're all there. I think
the phone is a scanner, yeah.
I think most of us have at least hit level 2,
Okay.
and we have some people who have managed to hit level 5 since the ISTE conference.
Okay. So yeah, we call the phone the scanner, and the reason that we've come up with other ways to communicate, say the Google Plus communities, Hangouts, Slack, all of that, is people will get dual accounts on the opposite team so they can watch the faction chat, right?
Okay.
The faction chat is not secure.
Okay.
It's not a place you can plan operations or anything. It's not secure, so that's why you find your communities. So they can get you into whatever the community hangout might be. Mm-hmm. If they're using Slack, maybe that instead. And there'll be different levels within there. They'll have new people will be in like your less vetted hangout. Mm-hmm. And as you become more and more, they're sure of you, so to speak. It's very, very, very paranoid-filled game. Very paranoia.
Yeah, and actually, this might be a really good excuse for us to try Slack, because most of us have not tried Slack yet. But it's already, the idea is already there. Yeah, we need to have an Ingress Slack account.
Right, and the reason they went to Slack is because of the limitations of Hangout. It would only allow, I think, 99 people or something like that.
Oh, yeah, it'll only allow 10 people. A Hangout only allows 10 people.
No, I'm not talking about like what we're doing now. I mean the chat Hangout, the chat part of it.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. I've never tested it that high.
The chat part of it, where you can just go on and chat instead of do the video. But it has I think it's like 99. And in some of your Hangouts, especially if it's a newbie Hangout, can hit up to that because you have people starting all the time, but they don't stay with it. So that can get up, and so that's why, at least when I was in Las Vegas, that's why we switched to Slack, because it didn't have that limit. But then with Slack, it's hard to go between groups. Like if I was out playing, I would have one of the chat Hangouts open between me and my husband, because we both play, just so we can communicate, because we'll separate when we play. I would have one Hangout open for my local community, and then one for level 8 players and higher. So I would have 3 going at once, and Slack doesn't allow that.
I'm just laughing because this is sounding more and more wonderful. Because and here's why. Because a lot of times when we're introducing games to educators, we end up playing at a very low kind of level, so they never really see what the end game looks like, and where all of this collaboration can happen, and all this strategy and everything that John Seely Browns talk about. So instead, we've gotten a comment from our Padlet.
Right, right. And I disagree. I'm not scared. To me, so I also have some Buddhist leanings. So for me, enlightenment means nothing if you have not done the journey yourself.
Oh, nice point.
If it's given to you and you haven't had to go through the growth and the experiences and understanding of yourself to obtain enlightenment, to me would mean nothing.
And I would have to that person, I'm going to throw Joseph Campbell's The Hero's Journey in their face. But to let everybody know what we're talking about, I'll read it real quick. We got, and if Chris can share it, that's great. But if not, I'll read this. Rather than a ridiculous science fiction aliens as the body snatchers scenario, I believe the proper way to frame this is humans looking forward to the future versus humans scared of the future and clinging to the past. and I'll show this here. It doesn't have anybody's name, and that's okay. And that's fine. I'm just saying, Joseph Campbell, Hero's Journey. Go with that.
Very good. Very good. And as far as the complexity, so let's start with the basics and then see where that takes you. So we have talked about you find the portals. That's where the XM is coming from.
Yes, start us from the beginning.
So you find those portals. Mm-hmm. And the first thing you want to do if you're a low-level player, to be honest, you farm them, or we hack or farm.
Okay.
Words mean the same thing. That's how you get your gear. You go up to it, you turn on the scanner, and you hit that hack button. Okay? And you get gear, and if it's the opposite team's portal, you get 100 AP. It's, the points, the activity points. So that's why it's good for new players, because that's 100 times every time you hack one of the opposite team's portals.
And I will tell you. Oh, I was just going to say a quick note to our book club readers who are reading that book. Wade has to. That's the problem that the main character has. He's a very low-level player.
Oh, yeah.
He doesn't have the gear. He doesn't have the gear or anything else, and that's why he talks about he can only go to places where he wouldn't get killed. He can only do certain things, and he has to do it very slowly. So it's the same way for us in Ingress.
Well, but remember too, again, Google wants you to be social. So that's, again, why you try to get to your community as soon as possible, because, see, if you and I live close to each other, I could go out with you. I could kill those. I could attack those portals, the opposite portals. I could kill them for you. We call it graying them out or ghosting them.
Okay.
Kill them, gray or ghost them for you, and then you can deploy.
Oh,
so
okay.
You try to team up with a higher level player, so they can do that kind of hard work for you that you can't do yet because you don't have the power. Mm-hmm. And you can deploy or put resonators on the portal. You have to put 8 of them on there, and you don't have to walk around it to deploy it. You can stand in one position, and then you can choose on your scanner where to put it. Advice, be as far away from the portal as it will let you, which is about 40 meters.
Oh, why? Why is that?
The bursters, or the bombs that we use, each level can go out a little farther. So level 1, one of the reasons it's not very powerful is it only is effective so far away from when you burst it. So if you watch the graphics, you can see it dissipates quickly. Whereas a level 8 burster can really take up, like, I think 162 meters or something.
Wow.
So a level 8 burster can really go a long way. That's one reason it's a lot more powerful. So if you deploy at least 40, as far, which is, like I said, would be about 40 meters, you have to use more gear to take it down. It's harder to destroy your portal then if you put it as far away as possible. It makes them stronger. And then like I said, the next, so you go and you capture them. You work with a higher level player if you need to, so that you can have that power. Your next level of defense then is to connect them. That's making fields is the way to get points. So let me see, where's that video that I had? I put one on onion fielding.
This video explains how.
And let me stop. I just want to get to the picture.
Yeah.
So fields are like.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So on this picture here, each of the dots represents a portal.
Mm-hmm.
So what you're trying, and the only way to make fields is to connect 3 portals. You make triangles. You get 1,250 AP every time you make a triangle. It does not matter the size. If I put a field up all over all Oregon, one field, it's 1,250 points. If I do a field that's 2-3 meters away from each other, it's 1,250 points AP.
Okay.
So that's not going to change. What this is kind of showing are little tricks on how, but that part doesn't matter. I just wanted to show you it is triangles, and you've got to connect the 3 portals in a triangle to make a field.
Cool.
And that's the bad part, because you get 313 for a link. If you link any 2 portals, 313. People that are new, you want to get those points, but like I said, if you do one too long, lines cannot cross. Okay. So when you link a portal, those links cannot cross. So you're blocking off potential fields. So you've got to be careful when you play on your own. I mess up sometimes too. I'll choose a portal to connect to, so it'll say link, and you have to have all 8 resonators on a portal before you can link it. And the portal you're linking to has to have all 8 resonators. You have to have gone to the portal and gotten a portal key. So you have to have a portal key to the portal you want to link to.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to have the XM to do it, and you have to have, everybody has to have all their resonators, and then you can link to them. When you hit link, it'll bring it up and show you how far it is. So I try to make sure it's double digits or less. And I make sure it's meters and not kilometers. Little things like that, because I don't want to mess up my team. I don't want, I don't want to take anything away from them.
Yeah, and that's something that I think that those of us playing in until the next conference, that we'll have to start meeting, the local group, so we don't do things like that.
Well, and then they can let you know what they might need. Now, sometimes you do. There are these things called BAFS, B-A-F with an S, and if it's okay if I can say one curse word, it stands for big ass fields. BAFS.
Okay. Oh, beautiful.
That is when you will see these long links, because they're trying to cover a huge area. The way a team wins Ingress, and we have cycles, and let me get I'm curious what cycle we're in now. If you go into Ingress, and then you go to Ops, and you click on the top, you'll see that bar, it says Intel.
Okay.
That starts to give you scores. Now, the very first thing it brings up is the globe, and it gives you the score for the world. If you hit regional scores, you will see, yes. Yeah. Now, hit regional scores to see your area, how your area is doing. So now you got it, yes, and so now you can see, it looks like Enlighten is winning yours.
Ah. Okay.
see the bars?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then if you want to see where you stand, and this is all based on fields, on mine units captured underneath the fields. So when you connect 3 portals, you're creating a field that actually captures the mine units under that field.
Beautiful.
That is the score that Ingress uses. Now, if you look at that checkpoint and cycle, you can see when the next checkpoint is. So what I would want to do is rush out and take down all the enlightened fields I can by destroying the portals, so that their score goes down.
There it is.
And then the cycle is what's really scored. Checkpoints are kind of, averaged over time. The cycle is what we're really looking at.
Okay. The cycle's down at the very bottom.
So that's how your team wins in your cell. And the cells were divided by Google, and it's just usually a particular city or area. And you can see it shows on your scanner where it is. That's what that little weird rectangle is. That shows you where your cell is defined. So anything in that area is in your cell, and that's how they count it. That's how they decide who wins. So you might want to cover your whole city so that your team then gets all those mine units, and if it stays up for the whole checkpoint, then that score goes toward your average for that cycle.
And how long are the cycles usually?
So what you might want to do is, oh, sorry, what was the question?
Oh, how long are the cycles?
I think the cycles are, what is it, a few days. I think ours is
only a couple of days. So, that's good. So there can be a shift.
Oh, yeah, because the checkpoints are 5 hours, every 5 hours.
Oh, okay.
So a checkpoint, and after a while you know the time so that you can look on your intel and see when do I need to go out and take that toad field down because I want my team to have a better MU count.
Nice.
So, and this is, again, where the big BAFS come in. So you might do a ugly-looking link because you're trying to block the toads from creating a big field.
Okay.
So but then, again, that's where it gets more complicated because each area will probably have a BAF team, and they have their own hangout. And they know the operations now because this can be difficult. I have the gear up here now.
Yeah, yeah.
So, of course, your backup battery, your external battery cable to connect the external battery. Anyone who played any time at all has that. You run out of power if you don't.
Nice.
I've got a big one now. When it gets cold, you get the conductive fingertip gloves, so your fingers don't freeze. Okay. Waterproof phone case that's conductive, so you can still play when it snows or rains.
Yeah.
And then for those that do the BAFS,
wow.
We have range boosters or signal boosters. Because usually if you want to do a BAF, you end up going into those really remote portals in the mountains, off the main road because you want something that the enemy, that the toads or that the resistance, the opposite team can't take down quickly. You want it to stay up.
That is perfect because we've had some of our book club members mentioning how they're in rural areas and how they're further away. They might be excellent. What do you call them? Vanguards or?
Yeah, and they would be great to hook up with whoever's in whatever cell they're in. Hook up to offer to be in that BAF community because they have easier access to those portals. You can also buy MiFis, AT&T MiFis, Verizon MiFis, so that you can get the data. Because I have T-Mobile, which is almost useless once I leave any kind of town. So we have gotten a cheap Verizon phone that we just pay for so much data because we only use it for Ingress. And an AT&T MiFi.
No,
so
this is great. And I'm thinking that besides the Games and Sim Network, we might talk to the Computer Science Network too. See if they want to play.
Yep. Oh yes.
So do you recommend, it's like I was looking at the missions on mine, and one of them, it tells how long it takes, and it tells you how many kilometers are involved, etc. But one of the spots that you are supposed to do, you're supposed to link portals. But if the portal's green and I'm blue, how do I complete a mission that's at green portals? How do I link portals that are not my color?
Once you get strong, powerful enough, once you get a high enough level, you destroy it, capture it, and make it blue.
Oh, because what's the highest level a portal can get?
8.
8? Okay.
Yeah, even though we can now get to, because when Ingress first started, you could only get to level 8 was the highest level. It wasn't until, a year and a half ago that they made that up so the players can now get to level 16, but that doesn't give you any more power. Once you get to 8, you're as strong as you're going to be right now. We're hoping that someday there might be, some advantage to being a 16. The only advantage right now is I can recharge. So when you get those portal keys, you can recharge them. So if I'm, for instance, maybe I am a BAFS person and there's a remote portal I want to keep, make sure it has all 8 resonators so I can link to it. The higher level you are, the farther away you can recharge. There is a limit.
Okay, another question.
That's the only advantage right now. But for level 8, once you're level 8, you're as strong as you're going to be. You can take anything down, within reason, depending on how they have it modded up. Also, there are these things. Have anybody gotten the ADA or the Jarvis viruses in their weapon list yet when they farmed? Those allow you to flip portals, so that would be something else you could do. But you can only, I think, flip one that's one higher than you. So if you were level 1 and the portal's a level 8, you cannot use that virus. Okay? But that's another thing you can do. If you come across a portal and you want it to be a different color, you can use the virus.
Okay. Now, suppose you go to one that's white, and you're going to claim it.
Yep.
And you said before you can link, you have to fill in all the thingies around it.
Yeah, you have to deploy. So we call it deploying. You have to deploy 8 resonators.
Okay. Can I deploy 8 resonators?
Yes, because you can. Yeah, and that's another way Ingress has made. Google has made, or Niantic, I should properly say, has made Google or Ingress a group game, because now level 1. You can deploy 8 level 1 resonators. One person can deploy 8 level 1 resonators. However, as you go up, so level 2, you can only deploy 4 level 2 resonators and 4 level 3 resonators. Same with level 4. With level 5, you can deploy 2. With level 6, you can deploy 2. And with level 7 and 8, you can deploy 1 of each. So if you want a level 8 portal, you have to have 8 level 8 agents deployed on that one portal. So you'll see a lot of times people doing meetups so they can get their, let all their agents together to go out and make these higher level portals. You do that quickly because people can, the other team's going to be looking for that and will go out and destroy it when they can. So there's a lot of going on.
I think it's wonderful. I think that's a great strategy, and I think we can have a lot of fun with that. I mean, I could even see, because I think Chris and I were playing around with a mobile app where you can paint, or you can take a screenshot and you can paint over it, and I'm like thinking, I'm like, oh, we could take a screenshot of a portal and then tell people where everybody should deploy,
Well, yeah, and there's a Padlet question, but I didn't quite get it.
Okay.
Before I got to read it all.
Okay, so let's see. Here it is. Is it worth it for lower levels to recharge resonators, even if it's not theirs?
Not really. I mean, it is. You can be considered helping your team. You do get 10 APs for every recharge, but and in the beginning, 10 might matter for something. But I mean, overall, it just depends. If it's something your team's asking you to do, yes. Otherwise, I wouldn't worry about it. But then there's badges that you earn. One of the badges you can earn is the Guardian badge, and that means you have captured and owned a portal for 150 days.
Ooh.
So you've got to keep that recharged, but you've also got to put it in a place where people are going to find it.
See, and I'm just thinking about our people who are playing in rural areas. That might be one that might be more achievable in a rural area than a downtown city. And then another question, it says, how useful are shields?
It depends on where the portal is. If the portal's by itself along a road or not grouped around other portals, and I do use the AXA, the very rares, and the rares. Turrets and forceps, not so much. I mean, it can if they're driving through. It just depends on what the portal, but if they're grouped, I mean, I put off one level 8 burster. If I'm going to cluster portals, it's going to hit all of them. and they tend to pop off not too difficult. It's not too hard to pop them off. The other part of that, if I use the highest level shields now, which are AXA, it's for some, is it an insurance company, I think, because they're doing product placement now on the gear.
Actually,
so
yeah, I was reading that it was a co-branding that Google did, like this brilliant co-branding.
Right. So AXA, you can put 4 of those babies on your portal thinking it's going to protect it, and then somebody comes by with a Jarvis or ADA and just flips it. It doesn't matter. Shields do not protect against the virus.
Okay.
Either of the viruses. And there's several reasons you want to flip. We had to flip some portals in a small town recently. We had 5 level 8. We had five level 8 resonators on the portal. There were 4 of us going up there, and we couldn't get anybody else. And some of us were already on it, so you can't do it again. So, but if you flip it, we flipped it green. And it has to stay there for an hour. You can't flip it back for an hour now. And then we flip it back in an hour with the ADA. Now the person who flipped it can't put any more resonators on, but now all the resonators belong to that person. So if I flipped it, all the resonators say Scathic, and now my husband can deploy, even though he had done it earlier because he no longer shows, and the 2 other people with us could also deploy.
Oh, that's great.
So we were able to make a level 8 portal without having all those people. You can also use it if maybe someone makes a really bad link on your team and you need to take it down.
Oh, okay.
So then you can Jarvis, and then, because you can't destroy your own team's portals. So if someone has come along and messed up your plans for a BAF, then you can use a Jarvis to get rid of it and flip it.
Oh, no, this is sounding great, especially especially for for conferences or other things like that, for meetups. Yeah, I can see us all working away, trying to get from level 2 to level 3, and then hoping there's a level 8 at whatever event we're at, so that they can help us.
Oh, good.
And Trish, do you want to say that?
Yeah, I just discovered that one of my really good friends, in fact, she's a friend that I originally first started playing WoW with like 5 years ago. And she's the one who introduced me to the beta of Minecraft. She is a level 8 Smurf, and she lives nearby.
Perfect. Trish, we're going to depend on you. And we just got a comment. The comment was, it was epic. Thanks for hosting such a cool event. I think this game will appeal to a lot of my adult learners who will relate to augmented reality, GPS, more than purely virtual tools. And heck, it sounds like fun.
Well, and you see places you never knew existed in your town. You really do. And when you travel. So the missions have been really great for me. We went to Salt Lake City, and I was looking, because to level now, to level 8, you only need APs. To get to level 8, you only need 3 points. Yes, and exactly. I use my Fitbit all the time. But after level 8, you have to start earning badges. So the mission badge was one that I really liked. And when I was in Salt Lake City, I'm looking for them, like, oh, where's this mission? And I look it up, and it's called, I think, the International Peace Park or something, and a whole bunch of missions. And there was this awesome park where they had representational sculptures from 20 different countries, and just a gorgeous place to be that I never would, because when we drove up to it, it's like, okay, we never would have noticed this from the road. You have to know it was there, and that's happened so many times when we've traveled, finding these places that we had no idea existed if it wasn't. And so there's this hashtag, if not for Ingress.
Oh, okay, we'll follow that.
You can see a lot of pictures and a lot of stuff that people, found and learned, and people I've gotten to know. In fact, the people we rented our house to in Vegas when we moved here, we met playing Ingress. He was one of the original players there, along with me and my husband, so we got to know him well. We knew what kind of person he was, and we knew we could trust him with our house.
Well, and I'm thinking, of course, there are places that you want your students to go to.
Oh,
And,
exactly.
and you know, maybe it's not the 5th graders. Sorry, Trish. Maybe you won't bring your 5th graders, right? But I'm in a community college, and this totally fits community college.
Yeah.
This totally works, and I'm thinking that there some high schools this might work with also.
Right. Right. And the last kind of thing I want to talk about as far as Ingress related, I'm going to share again just because it's all this fun gear. Anomalies. So this is kind of like the big thing, and it happens. They generally have it. This Persepolis. That was the last one, and that one was in Portland. So they usually have these about once a month. They have, and it will happen over a few weekends. They'll have what they call, like, there's side anomalies, like Las Vegas was kind of a satellite one, which meant a smaller level. And then they have the real big, the full primary, they call them primaries, primary anomalies. And this last one, Persepolis, was in Portland, and they'll have 2 or 3 European countries, and I think DC was also a primary for this. And then Denver, yeah, Denver was a primary as well. And what this is, they get with the local, they choose the towns, they get with the people that are the leaders for each of the teams, and they say submit some clusters of portals that you guys are going to battle over. And there are 4 different clusters of portals. And it starts, say, at noon. So from noon to 1, your team is in charge of these particular clusters, and the point is just to keep them your team's color. They only do the measurement the last 10 minutes. So you're battling and trying to come up with strategy. Do we want to let them have it? Do you want to keep it the whole time? Whatever it might be. You don't measure the whole 10 minutes. They measure at a precise point within that 10 minutes, and you don't know when it's going to be. So you're really fighting a lot then, battling over the portals. Another way they do measurements too is if you field over all that cluster. That's another way for the team to get points. So you've got all this stuff going on. People on the ground battling over the portals. Your BAF teams trying to BAF over you're trying to put fields over the whole thing. But it's really great because Portland had 1,500 people there. All Ingress agents, you know, half Enlightened, half Smurf. And you have events the night before, you know, you go get all your swag. That's what all these little patches and things are.
Okay.
We had a local agent also made these really cool pint glasses. You meet for breakfast the morning before the anomaly, then you go and get your stuff. You get to talk with Joe Philly's there. Clue usually goes. The people I showed you, Clue's usually there. Susanna's there. Brian goes to a lot of them, and Joe goes to those. So you get a chance to meet and talk with the people there. So the events, Anomaly's the main one. That's and Resistance won the last one, Persepolis overall. We lost Portland, but we won that one. And then these are other ways. They have all these ways of getting people together. NL 1331, Ingress has a Mercedes Sprinter, you know, those big van things, and they'll go to different cities. You can see here are some of the cities they've gone to, and it's a cross-faction event. It's meant to bring both people from both teams together and just kind of hang out and do whatever. You know, it's not really anything set. And it's just a cross-faction. And then you have First Saturday. The point of First Saturday is to help noobs level. That's how it started. So you have, and the local team should put out a meetup information and say, you know, we're going to meet at this park or we're going to meet wherever. This one is controlled by the locals. You don't have Niantic people at First Saturdays usually, unless it's some real special event. I know I'm an honorary member of the Vancouver Resistance, Vancouver, BC, and they do really fancy stuff for their First Saturdays. So
nice.
And then this is new, Mission Day. I haven't done any of these yet. It's just a way, and this is Niantic controlled. They pick a particular place, and there's a special badge if you participate. If you go to that. I haven't seen too many here yet. It seems like they're mainly no, I think Niantic likes to travel to Europe.
A lot lot of them in Europe.
A lot of events are in Europe, and you can, like I said, that's a link, and I made that Google Doc public.
Oh, that would be fantastic,
You
because
make it public.
people are gonna, and the thing of it is, everything you've been talking about is wonderful, because it relates so much to the book we're reading.
Oh, good.
And what the main character kind of has to go through. And,
yes.
and a lot of what you're talking about totally fits that.
Good, good. Yeah, I want, and here's the backstory. If you go to the Ingress YouTube channel, just follow them in order. And the memes, though, the memes are so true. Go to amazing places and stare at your phone. Me and my husband, I know. And I feel like you always wonder what people think of you, especially during anomalies. So, you're in the middle of Portland. There's 10 of you on your team, maybe your particular team. You're all just like looking down at the stupid phone. These people are driving by, like, what is going on?
and they're probably going, oh, they're not communicating.
Oh, I know.
That's what happened to me today. I was at the Catholic Church hacking portals, because there's something like 4 portals at the Catholic Church.
Okay.
And I'm not Catholic. And it's like I'm driving around their parking lot. I don't know my way around the Catholic Church. It's just huge. There's statues everywhere.
Yeah.
So I'm driving around and staring at my phone, just kind of wandering around whichever way the arrows got me going, and people are looking at me like, what is that woman doing?
Just say digital rosary. Just go digital rosary. And just, they'll leave you alone.
But yeah, I get asked a lot, do you need directions? Do you need...
Oh my gosh, that's fun.
Me and my husband will choose restaurants and places we go based on if there's hackable portals from inside the restaurant. So that's definitely true. And then you get suspicious of other people you see.
Oh, okay. Are they
You
hacking?
assume they're, oh my gosh, they're going to go attack my portal, when they're really just texting their friend and they don't know anything.
That's great.
And you get accused of, like me and my husband, the problem with us playing together so much is we get accused of cheating, of having dual accounts.
Oh.
They'll claim that, I'm playing as him, or he, so you say, oh, well, just come on over and meet us, and you can see who's doing this.
See, it totally fits with our gaming background, because Trish, we'd be accusing somebody of having a bot.
Oh, yeah,
a second account. Oh, that's somebody with a second account. That gets said all the time. And
yeah, there are Russia's really good at making bots for Ingress. And we had like 2 or 3 in Vegas one time. But once the bots got to level 8, they stopped. So I don't know what their goal was. One of the badges is for inviting people to play, which a lot of us old people hated, the ones that have been playing for a while. First off, everyone that I wanted to play is playing, the people but it also really makes it so that you will do dual accounts or make a bunch of accounts just so you can get the badge. Because it really doesn't take, it used to take forever to get to level 8 because there were so few portals. It probably took me 3 months of hard play, all of us, because there were no portals out there. So it took forever. And now it's just so easy to get to 8. At least in my viewpoint it is.
Yeah. Of course.
It's very easy to get to 8. But so there's certain things. But the badges are fun. That has helped. Because you'll notice a lot of agents, they'll get to level 16 and then you don't really see them play much anymore. Yeah. Especially if you don't get into doing the BAFS. That's one reason people get into that, because it gives a different layer of play. Okay. It's a whole different mindset when you start doing those. You have to drive and hike and
it's endgame
strategy.
Yeah, that's beautiful. What do you think?
My friend who, she's just texted me and she said there's an awesome resistance community here. Mike and I, her husband, are ridiculously addicted. We can totally get you up to 8. We both were 8 within a month. Now please tell me you're blue.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. We try to have meetups all the time here, like picnics and different things like that, and getting people together and just hanging out and. It's a lot more fun when you have the social aspect going.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Denver has a really good. I mean, Colorado.
Okay, we're gonna have to find. We're a bit outside Denver, but we're gonna have to find them, and yeah, and be connecting with them so that when the conference comes, we can,
Right.
you know. And as far as the people in ISTE, who cares? You know, who cares if they're resistance or enlightened? You know
Right.
what? It's for we're the Games and Sims Network. You know, if people are playing games and understand how you learn with them, we're winning.
Right. Exactly. Well, yeah, you got critical thinking skills going quite a bit if you get up to the BAFS part.
Yeah, and for social good digital citizenship, learning what the netiquette is, so we don't do bad fields and everything like that, and you know, writing missions. Man, you could put it in so many different content areas.
Oh, definitely on that.
You know, you could have your students compete for who wrote the best mission, and that's the one that gets submitted.
The most interesting or the most.
Yeah, exactly. And, I mean,
the thing I have up now, it's controversial. It can be considered cheating. It's Ingress. It's called IITC, and I'm showing you this just because a lot of the higher level people, agents will use this. Many of us don't like the interface, the scanner interface that Google has, Niantic has. This is an alternate. I just have that link on there. I have it on my phone. I don't go to it a lot. There's a desktop version. But once you start using it, you see why. Because when you go to IITC, I can move it around and see portals that I can't on the scanner in my area. I can click on them and I can share it to maps and be able to get to them. And it has drawing tools so you can plan BAFS. So I mean, there's a link to it on the page. I did make sure I did write that, you know, it is controversial.
Yeah, you did. I saw that.
They can be banned. But I mean, seriously, you're not going to find anybody above, I think, level 13 or 14 that doesn't have it.
That's great. We got some comments. Love the community aspect. Any tips for forming groups or finding cool groups?
The cool groups.
Google
Plus. No, they're all on Google Plus Community now. What you can do is go on the Faction Com and ask where is the Resistance community? Where is the Enlightened community? But do it on the Faction Com. It doesn't matter that it's not secure, but they'll see it a lot easier because you get so many notices on the Allcom. I mean, like, anytime I recharge, anytime I recycle gear, anytime I do any of that, it just shows, it blocks anything out. So on the Faction Com, ask where the community is. I just, I try to put out a link to our survey every so often. I'll put it on the Faction Com because I've got a survey link. Yeah, exactly. I've got a survey link so they have to at least send me a picture showing that they're resistance.
Oh.
We have different levels of communities too. We have 2 plus communities, even though we're a small town. The first one are for those that show that picture, but we haven't actually met them in person or played with them.
Oh, okay.
We want to bring them in because we want to talk to them and get them going on the social aspect. The other one is for those who want to do operations, and they're people that we have played with, we have met in person, we know, their loyalty to the team. And so then you get to go to that one.
I'm like Trish, we're gonna have to form a counterintelligence group. We're gonna have to, with procedures and protocols, so that we don't get taken over. This is too stimulating and too much fun. I mean, this can really be fun.
Well, I'll tell you, you have one mission, you have one operation that gets messed up because somebody infiltrated your community, and you quickly learn. This
is great.
There's a lot of time and gas and effort in some of this stuff.
That's what I was discovering today, because I was saying on our in Google Plus, I was saying it's like my portals here are all like a mile or 2 miles apart.
Yeah, it's definitely geared toward big city. I mean, when you go to Portland, I could play all day on their little train system, and like I mean, how everyone there is not a level 16, I don't know. I mean, the number of portals they have, the way that they're on the subway lines, and the way they're on the car lines. Although, another thing I forgot to talk about was the cooldown period.
Yeah,
So
tell us about that.
One thing Niantic did it's kind of like the NSA coming up with "take your shoes off," to combat terrorism. This is their way of combating bots, or
Okay.
It was supposed to be their way to combat spoofing. So there's that circle you see going out of the scanner. It goes, I think, at about 30 now. They changed the limit, 30 miles per hour. So you can be within 30 miles per hour as that moves out. So if you're driving 45, you get ahead of that circle.
Oh,
You
okay.
can't do anything. So if you hack, you'll see items acquired. If you try to deploy on a gray portal or whatever, it'll won't do it. It'll look like it does it on your computer because you're on your scanner because it will show in your scanner, but not on their server. So
Okay.
it didn't really deploy. You can tell because you'll see you didn't get any points even though it shows your name on it. And if you try to kill anything, the bursters won't have any effect. So you have to wait until that circle catches up with you so that your average speed now, from the time you last interacted with Ingress till that time, is 35 miles per hour or 15 minutes of no play.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So those are the two things. Either you're within the 30 mile per hour circle or you haven't done anything for 15 minutes. So when you're traveling to do an operation, you got to think about that. You see a portal like, oh, I want to,
And then I was doing that. I was doing that when we were road tripping. Now I will tell you, in Philadelphia when we were there, I mean, Trish, what portal every 100 feet or less? Like we just walk, and there'd be another portal and another portal and another portal. So I mean, yeah, I think that's great. But I'd say to Tammy, who's been asking about like rural doing, that she's gonna end up being a BAFS person and defending a portal.
Yeah, that's like I said. That is the only probably bad. Now you can still submit portals. There was a time when you used to get a badge for that. They stopped that in December. You can still submit them and try to get the portal density up a bit, and tell her any kind of cool public art or anything is usually.
Oh, nice.
Churches, they love churches.
Another assignment for students. We only have 4 portals. We want more portals. How can we get more portals?
Well, this is where I think I could involve the 5th graders, because we have this big open field beside our school that is where the kids go play, and the big oak is there, and then there's the big parking lot. I mean, it seems like we could construct missions, and it's so funny. My school colors are green and blue.
Perfect. Now, I'm going to warn you, though, the only problem with kids, now in Vegas, I probably wouldn't have let my kid play because of things that can be said on the comm.
Oh, okay. Okay, good.
Okay.
Make a private account. You cannot make a private account. And you have kids that create these names that are just disgusting. There's a gal here that plays. She's 13 years old, really great girl. We've met her several times. And someone came on, and it was masturbating. And she's like, welcome. And like, oh, no. That's going to happen now and then.
And that's
in this. It's open.
And that's where we have to talk to parents, talk to teachers about, okay, what are gaming communities like? Some gaming communities are like this, some are like this, and decisions have to be made there.
Right. And in fact, I had one of my friends quit playing because of some mean things that a Toad player said to him about cheating. No, the Toad player knew his daughter was in the car with him playing as well. She was 14 at the time, and he said, that's it, she's not playing anymore, and that's... So, but that was in Las Vegas. Ben hasn't had that kind of issue. And you can talk to, that's another reason to get to know your community. You can talk and find out what the issues might be. They'll know the bad players, if there are any.
And Trish, the thing about it is with your students, they might just be happy making a mission. You know what in the sense that creating a mission for, oh, I don't know, like PD or a teacher's day or a parent's day or something like that.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's more the creation of the mission thing that I'm looking at right now. But however, who knows? I might get my staff involved too. Turn it into an exercise thing and take us all off to a cemetery somewhere and do a thing where a team building thing of everybody chooses a side and then we go walk around hacking portals.
Okay, well, Cynthia, you've been with us almost an hour, and I hate to say it, but you've certainly enlightened us. And
I gotta go kill some fields. That's an IITC interface.
Oh, okay.
I gotta go get rid of some fields too.
And okay, so the hashtag is if not for Ingress, or
yeah, if not for Ingress.
Okay, because we'll start watching that.
To you.
Okay, well, we want to thank you so much.
Sure.
and sorry, but you're going up on our Google Plus community, and you're for this whole tutorial and questions and answers. Okay. So I just want to thank you very much, and let me go over to Chris's screen. Thanks everybody for watching, and go, go forth and move, right? Okay, bye everybody.
Bye.